Hi folks, Colin Fraser and welcome back. This is our video series, the Raza design and tutorial series. Specifically, we're talking about the home page, and now I just want to take a quick look at what I'm calling the short codes example section. Basically, it's just a small section, has a unique background image to it, as you can see this sort of gray background here. And then we have 4 pictures. These 4 pictures are in just regular bootstrap columns. However, we've applied a class that allows has this dash border effect and a drop shadow. So I just want to run through how we got those and how you can update this section, but really you can put content above or below it just like regular paragraphs or headings or things like that. But updating the pictures and applying the classes and getting the drop shadow, let's just show how we did this. I'll open up the index page here, and we'll just go to that section in the page, which is the short codes section right here. Okay, and well, we could do this in design view as well. Here's our short codes. It looks ugly as sin because the pictures are not round. There's no drop shadows. The font sizes are weird. The secondary font sizes are weird. But when you look at it in the view here in the web browser, it looks all nice and tidy. So that's one of those things where the design view just does not understand the CSS. So one of those things we'll have to live with. Or you can just go to the view, style rendering, and turn it all off. Right, and then you can just sort of scroll down just like you're working in a Word document, and a lot of people prefer this because it's just easier to edit the content. Right, so there's our short codes example. There's the title, there's the secondary title, that's the first image, that's the text below it, the second image, text below it. Now let's take a look at each of these images just to see how we've styled them to get this dashed border and drop shadow. Right, if we select an image, I'm now going to select it, and let's take a look at let's do something different. Instead of going to code view, I'm just going to take a look. There's the image tag. I'm going to hover over it, and it tells me there's a class, right? Or I can do quick tag editor. And it tells me the class of border dashed theme, image responsive, has been added to that particular image. So that is what we use. It's called a class of border dash theme. Okay, and it's also using the image responsive class from Bootstrap so that it resizes. Now the border dash theme, if we inspect the element, border dash theme, it's located in the styles base, line 1047. Uses a border radius of 50%. That's the border color. It's 2 pixels wide, and that's really all that's being applied. That's how we get that effect. We use the border radius and the dash. Okay, now the drop shadow. We can't apply a drop shadow like this outside of the image class itself. We have to wrap the image in another container in order to get that particular effect. So let's just flip over to code view now, and we'll see that we have wrapped the image in a div class. We've also added some additional animations that allow it to fade in, and we've added a class of shadow medium. All right, so back to the expecting element, if we inspect here and we look to the div class right above it, okay, it tells us that the shadow medium styles base, once again line 1084, and that is where the styles are being applied, as well as some fade in. Excuse me, I just wanted to jump right into the shadow base just to give a better explanation, because one of the things that's not showing in the inspect element is, so we have the shadow medium, here's the base styles, and then we've used some additional styling, the before. And this is where we add the graphic, and we've actually created a little graphic, and we've done this instead of using the CSS shadow. We've used some CSS, and we've positioned a graphic image where we want it to go. The reason being is, in order to get that nice round effect and things like that, there was an exact look that we were going after when we designed this, and we couldn't get that with CSS alone. So we used a PNG graphic because it's not used heavily throughout the template, it's only used in a few areas, using a graphic is a good option for that. And it gives us the exact look that we're looking for. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. It's an image with a CSS border, and there's a div container wrapped around it with a CSS drop shadow. Then we have some text that has the different classes applied to it located below. To change the image, just like you would change any image in any page, you can just double click on the picture in the page. It opens up the select image source, so you can now go and select another image and click OK and change it that way. If you're not sure the size of the image, that's where you can use your inspect, or you can open the image up. In this case, we'll just do an inspect here and hover over, and it's 300 by 300. Now look at this. This is the great thing about this inspect element, is the size that's showing in the page is 263 by 263. The actual size of the image is 300 by 300. So it's a square image, 300 by 300, but because it's within columns and whatnot, and it's a responsive image, the CSS sizes it down to whatever size is available to fit. And the final piece about this section is this really cool background angled graphic. And it's designed for short amounts of content, or for a section that's a light color background with a short amount of content like we have here, and just sort of it's a one-piece image, and that's actually applied through the section background style 5 tag. Okay, so that class there is the class we're using to get that really cool unique looking background.